Hey everyone, I'm back and today I'm giving you an update about the past month. It's been almost 1 month now since I had the surgery on my lower jaw. I can talk again and the swelling on my face reduced quite a bit, so I feel comfortable again showing my face here. The surgery went well and I guess the change in my face is pretty obvious. I will show you some before and after footage in a few minutes. And my lower jaw was extended almost 1 centimeter, which is 0.39 inch. So that's quite a bit. Like I mentioned before, it didn't only come forward, it also tilted a little bit. So it's just really different how it feels and looks now. The first week after the surgery, my face was swollen quite a bit. And it has reduced a lot now. It's only a little swollen now around the bones here, especially on this side, I feel like. I really hope that will disappear fast as well, and that way things can get back to normal, or at least to what is normal now in the new situation. But the swelling can take several months to disappear or even longer. And yeah, I'm still getting used to how everything looks now. I feel like my face has changed a lot. A lot remained the same, but at the same time it's so different. And of course some of that is because of the swelling still. But I will show you the before and after footage now. It would also really help if the nerves recover, because my lower lip and my chin are still numb. With the surgery, they have to really pull on the nerves that are here, the big ones, to get them out of the way so they don't damage them permanently. But that on its own has a big impact on the nerves, and it takes quite a long time for them to get back to normal. And it can even take up to a year. So when I smile, it feels just really nice. No, not nice. So when I smile, for example, it feels very weird because of the numbness. I don't get any feedback from the nerves of what my face and the muscles are doing. And when I eat, there's often food on my chin and I don't notice it. So often my husband tells me like, honey, there is some food on your chin. So I'm wiping my chin all the time now to make sure it is clean. And at the beginning, when I couldn't also open my mouth very wide, it was even harder to eat. And I would always eat in front of a mirror or in front of my phone to watch myself in the camera. And that way I could see where I needed to put the food. And also if I didn't spill any food on my chin. It is a funny sensation. Everything is numb, but at the same time sometimes it burns and tingles. And that is a good sign, because that means that the nerves are recovering. But it is a very annoying feeling sometimes. Now about the surgery itself, I made some notes about it on my phone, so that is why I will be looking here sometimes. So like I said, it is 1 month ago now and I had to be at the hospital at 10:30. And then there was a lot of waiting. You have to be really early in the hospital when you have surgery. My surgery originally was planned at 12:20, but I think it happened around 1 p.m. My husband came to the hospital with me and he stayed for an hour, which was pretty nice because I was so nervous then. He distracted me by telling jokes and he made me laugh for like an hour straight, which was very helpful, as you can imagine. Then I waited some more on my own, and then about an hour later there was a nurse who came to walk me to a room where I could change into the hospital dress. It is something between a dress and an apron because it is open at the back. You can only wear panties underneath, and the dress it has a few small buttons here and there, so in case of an emergency they can just rip it off your body. I guess that is the idea. But thankfully that wasn't necessary. So then I got into a bed and they moved me to the operation departments where I got a hairnet and an IV. And then they asked me some more questions about allergies and such, and it was in like a big corridor with more people were there. I think they were either waking up from surgery or getting ready for surgery as well. Then they put a heated blanket on me and they already had given me some painkillers like an hour before that or so. The surgeon stopped by as well for a minute, and also the anesthesia people, and then some more nurses. And then a few minutes later we went to the operation room, and it felt like a big crowd of people that were all pushing my bed to the operation room. There was also an anesthesia assistant. So while we were on our way, he talked to me and asked me like, how are you feeling? And I told him that I was really scared. And then he said, what is your biggest fear then? And then I told him that I was quite scared that the anesthesia wouldn't work. Then he talked very calmly about how that was extremely rare and why, but that he would be extra careful and so on. Now I appreciated that so much because I was very anxious about the whole thing, and he really put my mind at ease. Okay, so then we went into the operation room and they put my bed next to this bed slash table, and I had to get on that, which was a little hard because I was hooked up to all these wires. So I got onto that bed or table, and then the surgeon was like briefing his staff about what they were going to do, and they were checking a few things. And then the anesthesia nurse told me that I would fall asleep soon, and he was talking about, you know, think about the beach and think about the sun. But I was quite startled because when the liquid of the IV entered my veins, it was in this arm, it hurt quite a bit, and I really didn't expect that. So I interrupted him and said, you know, my arm hurts, is this normal? And he was, yeah, it can hurt a little bit sometimes. And I was like, whoa, this hurts a lot. But at the same time, I felt more and more relaxed because I could feel that the anesthesia was starting to work. And then I felt, yeah, it felt like falling asleep. And that wasn't weird at all. It was just quite relaxing, I guess. So then I was unconscious, and the next memory I have is waking up in the corridor outside of the operation room, and it was very hard to wake up. I really wanted to, but it was hard because the anesthesia, it takes a while to get out of your system. And also I was crying when I woke up. I'm not sure why, because I didn't notice anything from the surgery, of course, but maybe it was just because of all the stress and the relief that it was finally over, this surgery. I remained very sleepy for the rest of the day. I wanted to wake up, but it just didn't work. I remember my mom visited me around 6, and the nurse brought me some food, but I was too tired to eat and also in too much pain, so I had some liquid and more painkillers. Now, I was also very nauseous and I threw up once. That may have been a side effect from the general anesthetic too. And also because I swallowed quite a bit of blood during the surgery, which is normal during a surgery like this. And it could also be because of the painkillers, I'm not sure. And then they gave me some medication for the nausea, and then it got a little better. Now, the first night I slept surprisingly well, although the nurses did wake me up a couple of times to check my temperature and my blood pressure. Oh, and that first day, by the way, I didn't mention it, but I had to put ice packs on my cheeks. And I did that for like 6 days because it reduces swelling, but it also really helped with the pain. So that's why I guess technically it wasn't necessary anymore on day 4, 5, 6 to help with the swelling. But it gave me quite a bit of pain relief, so I kept putting the ice on. Now, the day after surgery I felt more awake and I ate a meal which tasted amazing because I was very hungry by that time. Because before the surgery you cannot eat 6 hours before the surgery, and you cannot drink 2 hours before the surgery. So the morning before the surgery I wake up at 5 to have a good breakfast, and that was the last time I ate. So that's why the day after the surgery the meal tasted so good, even though it was quite hard to eat because I couldn't chew. Now, that second day I also saw a surgeon, and he checked the results of the surgery and he was pleased. So I was discharged from the hospital then. I did get more ice packs and painkillers, and then my mom drove me home. Now, the children came to see me when I got home, and I could tell that my new face made them a little bit uncomfortable, and I had like a big cloth with the ice tied around my face, and they came to see me, and then they quickly went back to Grandma and Grandpa. Vida wanted to sit in my lap for a few seconds. After a few days they were more comfortable being around me, and then they got used to my new looks. My parents took care of the children for 2 weeks, so I could take it easy, which was such a blessing. And especially the first week, because I was in quite a bit of pain then, and I was in bed for most of the time, although sometimes I would get up and walk around the house just to keep moving a little bit. Now, the first week, the side effects from the general anesthesia were still there. I felt quite confused, and my thinking was a little fuzzy. It was all the time like there was this cloud in my head, and it was really hard to focus. When it comes to the pain, after 5 or 6 days, it almost disappeared completely, which I didn't expect. I really thought that the pain would remain longer, but that wasn't the case. And then in the second week, I slowly resumed normal life again. And it went quite well, so each day I would be up longer, and sometimes I would take a nap, but I would also do some random household chores again. Now, after the first week it got better with the fuzziness and the cloud in my head. And now a few weeks later I'm beginning to think again, well, maybe it's not completely disappeared. I still feel a little fuzzy sometimes, and I experienced that to some degree before the surgery as well. Since my pregnancies, my thinking and my memories seem to be more slow. And I don't know if it's just that or if I still have some side effects from the general anesthesia. And if my thinking will improve some more, I really hope it, of course. Now I'm just so relieved that the surgery is over. It was this thing for 2 years that I knew it was going to happen, and I was not looking forward to it at all. But now it is behind me and I can look forward to when the braces are removed, and I have to keep them for 6 more months, and then when all goes well, it's all done. The whole braces, goodbye. The braces will be removed and my teeth should be very nicely aligned again. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen that I still puree all of my meals. I cannot chew anything. And after 6 weeks, the bones are healed completely. And I think in the upcoming weeks, I can start practicing with the chewing again. So as you can imagine, I'm really looking forward to be able to chew again. And yeah, I think this was it. My quite elaborate update on my surgery. Now the next video I will post is a cleaning video, which was partially pre-recorded. So in some clips you will see my old face and in some clips you will see my new face. Just so you know. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. Take care everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!